South Africa has a rich musical heritage, with Afro-Pop and soul genres contributing significantly to the country's cultural tapestry. For years, these genres resonated with audiences, both locally and globally, showcasing the nation's vibrant diversity and artistic expressions. However, in recent times, these once dominant genres have experienced a noticeable decline. In this video, we delve into the factors contributing to the ebb and flow of South African Afro-Pop and soul music, shedding light on the challenges they face in today's musical landscape. Now, without further ado, let's get started with this video. At number 1, the first thing we're going to take a look at is the limited investment and support. The decline of Afro-Pop can also be attributed to the lack of sufficient investment and support from the music industry and labels. As new genres and artists emerge, labels and media outlets often allocate resources to capitalize on the latest trends. This leaves room for traditional genres like Afro-Pop with limited opportunities for promotion and exposure. The second thing we're going to take a look at is shifting musical trends. One of the primary reasons for the decline of Afro-Pop and soul music lies in the ever-changing landscape of musical trends. As new genres such as Amapiano emerge, capturing the attention of audiences, traditional genres may lose their prominence. In the face of global musical industry fast-paced evolution, Afro-Pop and soul music have faced stiff competition from contemporary genres that cater to the current preferences. Afro-Pop and soul music thrived in the 80s, 90s and early 2000s because of the genre's rich experiences in live performances. During that time, bands and music was live, with fans and musicians feeding off one of the golden ages of music. Streaming is now the focus over physical copies, and back in the days, streaming wasn't simply relied on. Afro-Pop artists such as Zonke and Zahara sold over 100,000 copies in the golden era of Afro-Pop before streaming took over. Streaming wasn't simply relied on in the early 2000s and early 2010s. From 2013 going forward, physical sales were starting to decline, but fans and artists were still getting familiar with these streaming platforms, and many artists were against them. Many Afro-Pop artists were against the streaming method in the beginning, which is why most of their catalog was uploaded later on their careers. This move meant that artists which were once superstars now had to play catch up. Our third theory is the evolution of social media. Social media has had a big impact in the creation, consumption, distribution, and monetization of music. These challenges shifted and rearranged the Afro-Pop and soul movement entirely and how we view our so-called stars of today. From 2010 till 2015, artists were releasing their music videos via YouTube, but social media wasn't a big thing. Fans didn't have a strong association between these platforms and our favorite music. It wasn't until recently that you can directly distribute your music to the likes of Facebook and Instagram and allow people to integrate your music with their social activities. Fast forward a little more and we saw the rise of TikTok and how the platform reshaped the idea of what it meant to have your music go viral. You even have artists now create music with the sole purpose of going viral on the platform and using that success as a launching path for their careers. The rise of TikTok has helped extend the life of some albums in spontaneous ways that artists and their labels never anticipated. Most Amapiano artists such as Dos and Kanyisa Chatseni have launched their careers on TikTok by creating simple dance challenges and open verse challenges. Now, I can't see Zonke, Musa, Nati, Zahara or Munewa going to the studio and creating music with TikTok as the primary focus or anticipating a viral moment. But some songs do go viral though, like Nati Mankai's single, Imi Moya, which is probably the biggest Afro-Pop song this year. Let's keep in mind though that Afro-Pop is spiritual in nature. It is meant to evoke emotion with anyone who hears it. After all African music has that thing which connects to the soul, but With the rise of social media, there is a whole new breed of fans who were raised on these social media platforms and don't exactly care how many albums you sold and what you did in the past. Not to mention the popularity contest of the past used to take place at award shows, guest appearances on talk shows, and other forms of traditional media. However, award shows don't quite hit the same way they used to, and the fact remains that your popularity and relevance is usually gauged by your activity online and the overall perception held of you online. The idea of being a star is watered down now. Adele once said, "We existed in the old schoolness of the industry we grew up watching and aspiring to be part of." See, most of us grew up watching our idols on TV, and it was because of that TV that we associated them with stardom. The main way our perception of these artists was shaped was through the TV, and the lives of our stars was pretty secret and personal for the most part because we didn't have access to them 24/7. There was something about the unknown that made them invincible in our eyes and essentially something that we aspired to be. In our days, our phones have become our TV, and it doesn't take much for us to idolize someone, even if they are deserving of such praise. The bar is set so low today that anyone can turn on their phone and sell you an image of a perception of something we may usually associate with stardom. The ability and the ease at which this can be done, there's so much noise now and distractions than ever before, and this ultimately impacts the Afro-Pop and soul market. Being an amazingly talented singer is not enough anymore, which brings us to our next theory, which is the shortened attention span of audiences. Attracting the attention of the public and maintaining it for a long period of time is getting harder and harder each day. There's simply too much going on, and the rate at which we receive and process information is a lot faster than years past. Think about what people in our days do to attain and maintain relevance, whether that is cloud chasing, random outbursts, or creating false narrative about people's lives to get the public talking. Nota, McG, DJ Spoo, and Penwell are the names that have been trending for a while in the past few years in South African internet spaces. Whether this is all calculated or a big coincidence, constantly being in the public's eyes ultimately solidifies you as a star in the social media world. If you are not being talked about in today's world, you are easily forgotten. In the subconscious minds of the fans is the spoilt mentality of "what have you done for me lately?" A fan's connection to the artists they love are more fleeting than ever before, and we have seen how quickly audiences can turn on an artist in the digital age over the littlest things. Think back to the old videos of Michael Jackson making fans faint at his concert before the show even started, or when Brenda Fassie sold out both Orlando and FNB Stadium. Which artist do you know that has this kind of impact today? This is because streaming and social media have reduced the commitment factor that was once required to be a fan of an artist. The fan who had to physically go to a music store, buy a cassette or a CD, take it home, sit with it, whether they like the project or not, is different from the fan who can simply stream any song wherever, whenever they want in a matter of seconds. The growth of relationship between the fan and an artist is often stunted today unless the artist can come up with ways to strengthen the relationship. The attraction to many Afro-Pop artists and their releases was a lot stronger from 1980s till the mid-2010s because there was still relatively high commitment from an average fan to buy music, and after all, Afro-Pop artists have been running the game for a very long time. Now that content is key, society has a hunger for new content with zero desire for commitment, leading to many challenges in relation to how artists release new music. When there's a low level of commitment from fans, it is hard to keep their attention for long periods of time. Your emotion towards something will always be stronger when you have skin in the game. This primarily comes in the form of monetary support of an artist because, as we all know, likes and follow are pretty low commitment and don't always convert into physical sales. It is also important to note that Afro-Pop artists have never been known for releasing projects back to back compared to their hip-hop and house music peers. If they were constantly dropping music and integrating their music with fans, maybe these artists could have been in a better position right now. One of the artists who managed to do this well was Something Soweto, but he has also been quiet for a while. With that being said, it will be interesting to see what these artists will do next, as they are known for taking extended breaks between projects, which is fair given the fact that these musicians are human beings after all, and I think in our craze for content and gossip, we tend to lose sight of that. The decline in South African Afro-pop and soul music is a complex and multifaceted issue. The ebb and flow of musical trends, the influence of globalization, the limited investment, change in listener preferences, and socio-economic challenges all have played a part in shaping the current state of these beloved genres. While it is disheartening to witness the decline of these traditional genres, it is essential to acknowledge that music, like all forms of art, is constantly evolving. However, it is equally vital to preserve the cultural heritage and artistic expressions that have shaped the South African music for generations. By supporting and promoting Afro-pop, both locally and internationally, we can ensure that these genres continue to find a place in the hearts of audiences worldwide. It is through collective efforts that we can celebrate and revive the soulful melodies and rhythms that define the soul of South African music. For Wave Entertainment, I am Kepitizi. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comment section what Afro-pop song is your favorite and what do you think of the genre right now. Until next time guys, stay safe.